I wanted to try and explain travel from a different perspective. We're used to a physical body, and we have the starting point, and we have our ending point, and in between is your trip. So depending on how far we are, how long it takes, and whatever mode of transportation we use. But when we're traveling with our consciousness, there is no body attached, no astral or no physical, and no soul. So it's an immediate connection. Now, if we have the ability to make those connections at will and focused on a certain point, then we're connected with them immediately and as if we're there, as if we are physically there. But when you are moving your consciousness somewhere or connecting with it, you know that your physical body is still in the place where you left it. And you're still connected to it, but you're also connected to your destination. So you have the ability to be connected to two places simultaneously, your destination as well as your starting point. Because your starting point is no different from your destination. So let me explain it this way. When you're there, you know you're still here. And you know you're there. It's almost like bringing there to here. Or bringing here to there. They're in the same place. They're in the same space. It's almost as if, like the astral is, everything is layered, like an invisible layer that's just stacked on top of where we're at right now. And all we're doing is choosing a layer and connecting with that. Now, you could say, well, if that layer is large and spread out, it doesn't necessarily work that way because we're looking at it from a physical viewpoint. We only know space and time, and everything can be spread out so that we understand where everything's located. We always know that the Atlantic Ocean is in the same spot, and the Pacific Ocean is in a different spot. So we know that way we can base our destinations or our trips or our plans. But it's not that way in reality. From a non-physical standpoint, things are where you are, or we are where they are. And our connections can be with anything. And so we're actually not leaving our starting point, and we don't leave our destination when we leave. We're always there. So making the connections is not like going 1,000 light years in distance, because we don't have that. There is no distance in there. We're there. So when we're making a connection, it's like I've said before, you have a multitude of FM radio stations all around you at one time. And if you have a tuner, then you can tune into those radio stations one at a time. But you can only be on, one station at a time. They're always there. But you can only tune into them if you have the right frequency and if you're tuned into the correct one. And that's what I've been doing. Because you have to be in the correct frame of mind in order to make that connection. And a lot of times we are, when we're sleeping or when we're in a daydream state. We reach those levels. But if you're not able to move your consciousness along with connecting with those levels, then you won't be able to benefit from the connection, not consciously. Subconsciously, you're not going to get anything out of it because it's going to keep that information from you. But your consciousness going there is the you. So you're bringing yourself along for the ride. And that's the whole purpose of making these connections, is being able to consciously go there, see what's going on, have the experience. And the way that works with what I'm trying to do in the long run, in the big picture, is if we have the ability, or if you have the ability to become conscious within your dream state, if you have the ability to become conscious within these connections we make with other realities and other dimensions during the day in our daydream state and that sort of thing, you're consciously making the decision to do that. It takes effort and it takes time to learn the process. Once you've learned the process, then when you are in different states of what they call consciousness, or different states of brain activity, if you're able to bring your consciousness to that level, then you are able to think and act based upon your independent decisions. Right now, when you have a dream, most likely it's just your subconsciousness there. And when you come back out of the dream, you'll remember things. They really don't make sense. It's not something you would have done in physical life because your consciousness wasn't connected to it. But when you're consciously aware and consciously there, then you have the ability to make decisions. And that's why, from my viewpoint, is when people say they pass away, they're just going to say, no, I don't want to be reborn or whatever. That isn't that simple. Because if you don't have the ability to consciously be within these other states of mind, if you can't be aware, then you're going to be making a decision not based on what you want. It's going to be based upon what the centralized subconsciousness wants. And I believe that's where a lot of people make a mistake, because they figure, well, I'm gonna pass on and then I'm gonna make these decisions. No, it's not that easy, because it's a multi-layered system meant to put you in an illusional state, like a dream state. And in that dream state, you're somewhat there. You're not fully there. And you can make decisions based upon what happens to you that you don't really want to make, because you're not all there. But if you are all there, if you are fully conscious all of the time, at that point, we make decisions based upon what we really want. And we can't have the wool thrown over our eyes, or we won't fall into the illusionary, drug-like state and agree to everything. So my goal is to get people to be consciously aware of their situation, no matter what state of mind they're in. Once you can move your consciousness within these other states, whether it be the dream state or varied daydream states or whatever, then you will be in control. But it's an exercise. I'm not saying just go visit a bunch of other dimensions of realities, but you will have the ability to do that. But first, you need to have control. And control is the number one key that most people don't have, myself included. It's a difficult process. And the better you get at it, the harder it gets. So you have to be diligent, and you have to set goals for yourself and follow through. Because it is not an easy process. But once you have the ability to do that, then you're not going to fall prey to what we've been programmed and what we've been exposed to all of our lives. If you want to be in control of your life, you have to be in control of yourself. That's the first step.